Okay, decided to post this here because number one, it doesn't look like many people have used it much, and number two, it applies a lot to online chat, and that's usually what I save my little clips on this group for. I've been asked many, many, many times as I've been in avatar chat why I play or why I have a female avatar. Quick version is because I'd rather look at a girl than I would a guy. Okay, that's just me. It started when I was in ZDNet chat when it was ZDTV and it was still running on virtual places. And AOL too. AOL virtual places. I had a female av too, but I barely had any avatars, so I was a fan of Vertical Comics Death at the time, and somebody made me a avatar of it, so I ran with it, and that was it. Death and Blink basically were my two. In fact, I roleplayed her for a while, and that was actually the first time I had graphically roleplayed a female. I had a couple of times I'd roleplayed as Maria in Urk and in um, Mux, and that was just because she was my character. I didn't really have a male character I could play because I couldn't really think of one, so I played the ones I could think of. And that, I don't know, maybe that did push it a little bit. When I got to ZDNet, I had a Delirium avatar, again from Vertical Comics, and just stuck with it because Delirium is a cute looking character from Brief Lives. A couple of her pics from Brief Lives from the my favorite one was her in the scene with, if you can go and find it online, there's a scene of her sitting around in a travel agency just being really bored. You know, she's a little kid in mindset, but so of course she's trying to find ways to entertain herself, and she looks really cute in some of those. So I grabbed some of those and I used them. And it just somebody asked me back then because first they asked if it was a boy or a girl because in the picture I had it was kind of androgynous. You couldn't really tell. I mean, Delirium is not, uh, double D. She's flat as a board, so it's the features look feminine, but the body it could throw you off. So, and that was my excuse then. It's like, look, what I don't want to look at a man all day because at that point I was starting to. That was when I had moved out here, and I was starting to host, and because of that, I used to spend a lot of time in there. I said I really don't want to look at a guy all day, so I'll look at something I want to look at, and that kind of followed into Second Life. I do have a couple of male characters, Dr. Salvarius Barbosa and Rendell Merriman. I never go on either of them, just because it doesn't seem right. Again, part of that is I don't like looking at guys, not from the back end anyway. Especially when it's me. I mean, come on. Well, Tron Damon too, but he's a demon, and I'm not really sure what it is yet. So that's why Spider, Maria, Rendell Lamington, Aura Lycan are all feminine characters because it's just that part of me. I like looking at ladies, so I'm going to make a lady so I can have fun with it. Now, the problem is I've gotten really good at being feminine. I don't know if this is a downside or an upside. I guess it depends on how you look at it. But it's to the point now I almost get physically uncomfortable when I go into a male avatar. That's the reason why I DJ. I DJ as Spider now. Because, well, that's part of the reason. The other reason is because I got so sick of having to interrupt good RP to say, look, I gotta go do something, and then 2 hours will pass, and of course, by then everybody's gone. So I just kind of ran with it. But yeah, that's kind of it. I've had that topic in my head a couple of days now. The other one I had, and I'll probably put up its own post about it, is which is more addictive, Second Life or virtual places. And honestly, I'd have to say virtual places, because Second Life still limits you in some ways that virtual places doesn't. Now granted, virtual places you can't have a 3D avatar, you can't move around, you can't really do much with your environment. But well, you can, but you go about it a different way. The way you create your own environment in virtual places is you create websites. And that's the one thing that I think that VP has it all over Second Life. Well, two things. One, it's infinitely more stable. Virtual Places is still around. I've gone on it a few times and never once has the program crashed. It used to. When Excite was running it as Excite Chat, it had some stability problems, but that main thing was because oh crap, now I can't think of the company that makes it. Anyway, they pulled the license. They wanted to take it in another direction, which they took it in a business direction for quite a while. I think they still are in one aspect, but they've now reopened it the past couple of years to consumers again. Anyway, they have a much more stable client, which, as far as business goes, definitely is a lot better. I mean, I'd hate to try and do any business on SL. I'd never know if I was going to finish the meeting or not. I mean, shit. I go on and I DJ, and there was a while there where it was like every damn time on Thursday, the first hour of my shift, LA would always crash. Always. It was to the point that if it didn't, I started getting paranoid, because then I was wondering if in the second hour it would crash. And that'd be even worse, because then I couldn't get back in to change the stream back over. So, in stability, it's a lot better. In avatars, yes, I'll buckle down. Second Life is better. You can do a lot more personalizing with it than you can in VP, where you are limited. Your avatar is 48 by 64 picture. You can't do a hell of a lot with that kind of picture. They do have mega heads now, where you can get a little bit bigger. I think it's 250 by 250. I'm not sure. I'll have to go check the stuff. You can. One thing I do like about virtual places, you can play games. I love playing Yahtzee, even if I just sit there by myself. It's a fun way to pass the time. But the best way, especially with business, that VP just pwns SL is the tour ability. You can take people on tours of websites. And as long as they're on the tour bus, which is a script that they have where you hop on a graphic and the person who's running the bus can take you to different websites, as long as you stay on it, you're fine. So, and closing out, it has one tremendous feature. The dumb fucker who sends you a link to a YouTube video you didn't want to watch in the first place will most likely be on that page, and you can bitch slap him for sending you this stupid thing in the first place. Which I still would love to do to some of the people, but what can you do? That is me, Spider, Rendell, whoever the hell you want to call me, and I'll be back later on.